part of celebration is like accepting yourself. A lot of women, especially with the way we are, with the way our upbringing is and the different cultures we come from, it's difficult for you to accept who you are. It takes time for you to, come on terms with a lot of diversity around you, a lot of different thoughts, perspectives around you, right? So the first step is, put your foot down, figure out what is core to you and are those important things you'd like to, take along with you or change them or mold yourself accordingly, and then say, okay, this is what I am and I love this thing about me. You don't like it, that's fine. I'm not going to change this because it's for someone else, right? So unless you feel it's worth changing, you don't really keep changing for people. That for me is like celebration of yourself, being comfortable in your own skin, accepting yourself and loving yourself for that. It's like being all by yourself, living alone, and taking care of yourself and actually coming on terms with the fact that I don't need anyone, or I'm like self-independent, or I don't have to look for someone. I'd been alone since like 7 years and I'd moved PGs, hostels, flats, all by myself. I didn't even have a single person's help. So figuring out things by yourself is something which I think is my greatest achievement at this point in time, both professionally, personally, on all fronts of life. I think two contradictory words would be peaceful and messy. It's a lot of love. I've grown up in a family of 5 with 3 daughters. So we lived in 2-bedroom house. So 3 sisters had the same house, same room, right? So everything is pretty open out there. There's no like something closed, or you cry in the room, you laugh, you mess up things, everything. So it's a very closed 4-wall surroundings for me, where it's a lot of love and emotions and all sort of emotions actually. So definitely, see, we can do anything what we want in life. We sometimes, as professionals, by choice of our profession, we design someone else's house and help them convert it home. We do the same thing to our own houses, right? We go into an empty flat, add color, life to that, and then it becomes a home. So I think maybe 5 to 10 years, before 5 to 10 years, women were more predominantly looking into selection of just like kitchen utensils, and at the max the curtains or the bed sheets or the linen material of the house, right, or of the home. So over a period of time, we have become more involved because that's a space where we build our own entire lives, our families, our kids. So everything from what kind of flooring should be there, what colors I would want on my walls, how should my bed be, where would my study table come, this corner of the house is just for me and my own space. So we have come a long way just from being behind the scenes to actually front ending the whole thing. If you actually check the market or get into the space, right, you see a lot of clients who tell, okay, this is the segment of my wife, so she takes care of all of these things. Whereas previously it was not so, like the men used to take decisions, but by how we evolved, we kind of are the forefront of seeing what happens in our home. So I've grown up in a very stereotypical environment where I was labeled as, you're not supposed to do this, this is a guy's job, or this is not a girl's job, right? So it sometimes weighs you down, right? But over a period of time, when you start listening to that continuously, either you have a choice to bog down or tell, that's all right, I don't really care if that's what a guy does, I'm still going ahead and doing this, right? And that's something which women as of today have evolved. Like maybe 5 years down the line, if I would have told my parents I'm going to live alone and I'm going to do a job, my parents wouldn't have agreed. So the change in the mindset of people is something really difficult but worth battling for. I think not to be a rebel, and to actually talk to people when you feel that you need help. So coming from a little stereotypical family, it did take me time for my parents to go through the transition, like 6-7 years when I told them I'd want to do my masters and in a different city. I was the first in the entire family, to extended family, to take up that decision, and it was obviously not a very welcome choice. It took me a lot of time for them to convince them, right? I did not convince, I was a rebel actually. Back when I see now, I think I would go back and maybe take some more time and convince them, because I have a younger sister now, and my parents, just after she finished her bachelor's, they went and dropped her into another city and, settled her there and told her, you need to figure out your life, look at your sister, and, find some job, do some courses if you want, and all of those things. So I think I should have, not been a rebel and kind of, been a little more open-minded about that thing. And again, when you're a rebel, you don't really look up for someone's advice. You'll be like, okay, I'll figure it out by myself. You make good choices, you make bad choices, but that's something you come on terms with, right? So I would have gone back and changed these two things, like taking people's advice or asking for help, and being patient with the change, like not always rebelling around and like